have done trading profit and loss accounts.
Trading profit and loss account.
Yeah.
Yes, we did it in account 2.
Okay, that's great. That's great. For trading profit and loss account, that account is for organizations that are ready to make profit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Organizations that make profit. Now, for this kind of accounting, it is done for organizations that are not mainly in for profit making. Okay, they are always in for maybe NGO purposes. So, non-for-profit organizations, clubs and societies. I hope you get it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, they are not mainly in to make profit. That's for these types of organizations. And for trading profit and loss accounts, after doing everything, you'll either be getting a profit or a loss, right?
Yes, sir.
But for this kind of organization, since they are not in for making profit, we cannot prepare a trading profit and loss account for them, but we have to prepare something called an income statement, which we will talk about later on. Okay. So we would like to know about what these organizations are, their nature, and how they are formed and the rest. Okay, so not clubs and societies are not for profit making groups which are formed by people who share the common interests. So, for example, churches, mosques, schools, some schools and colleges, benevolent societies, NGOs. Do you know of any of these?
No, sir.
You don't know any of these? A
Like,
football. Is there any football club in your area?
yes, I know about this, but I think you are asking me how they prepare their account. That's why I said
No. We are not there yet. We are not there yet. We will talk about how they prepare the account, okay?
Okay, sir.
And now we have to know these kind of organizations and how they operate. Yeah, okay. So they operate not for profit making, but they have a common interest. So, for example, in your school, you may have a club there, maybe science club, or maybe SRC club or something. Is that okay? These organizations, when you set them up, they are not there for profit making. But when at the end of the period, they have to also account to the people in the organization. Is that okay?
Okay,
They have to account for the people in the organization. So, okay. Wisdom, welcome.
Sir, thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
So today we are talking about clubs and societies, okay?
Okay.
And we have already started. We talked about, but we haven't gone far. We talked about
Okay.
the nature of clubs and societies, how they are formed, and examples of them. So we talked about maybe a club like maybe a chess club in your school, a football club around your area. Now, these clubs are formed basically not for making profit, but to get to a common goal. Is that okay? For a common objective. So we have football clubs, we have churches, benevolent societies, NGOs, and the rest. So let's take for particular NGO. An NGO is formed not for profit purposes, but to provide services to the societies. I hope that's right. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
you know about NGOs. Hello.
Yes.
Do you know about NGOs?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, I see. So an NGO is an organization that is set up not to make profit, but to maybe help the society. So you may have a scholarship secretariat or a scholarship organization that provides scholarship to students, but it does not take them any money. It does not let them pay back this money again. We also have NGOs which provide services to a community. Is that okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
MTN, for example, has a foundation which they call it the MTN Foundation. Okay, that part of MTN is not for making profit, but to provide services to the community that they find themselves in. Is that okay? But after everything, these NGOs have to account to their owners. They have to make sure that, oh, we were having this amount, oh, we have this amount. Hey, whose background? Okay, so I'll mute. Okay, Wisdom has muted inside. I think it's from Wisdom. Okay, nice. So these NGOs will have to account to their owners that, oh, you give us 5,000 Ghana cedis, and we're able to give this number of people 3,000 Ghana cedis. We are left with this, we are left with that. Accounting is everywhere. So even though they are not for making profit, they have to account in any way. I hope you get it.
Okay, sir.
Good. So that's the nature of these clubs and societies. Now, since they are clubs and societies and they are not for making profit, then how do they get their money? Okay, so we are going to look at the sources of income for such clubs and societies, how these clubs and societies get their money. Okay, and one is from subscriptions or dues. Subscriptions or dues from members. So you may join the science club in your school, and in that science club, you have to pay 3 Ghana cedis every month as dues. Is that okay? Hello? Is that okay? Okay, so let's continue. You have to pay these subscriptions or dues to them. So that's one form of income that these clubs or societies get. Exactly. And the next one is the entrance or registration fee. When you are going to join your science club, they'll say, oh, entrance fee is 5 cedis, but subscription or dues per month is 3 cedis. So when you are going in, you pay 5 cedis before you are accepted into the science club. And when you are accepted into the science club, every month you pay 3 Ghana cedis as what? Dues. So that's for the entrance, or that's another source of income for such clubs and societies. We have the life membership fees. Some people would like to join that organization for life. So as far as they are alive on earth, they would like to join that organization. So some people would like to pay everything instead of paying dues of 3 cedi per month. They would like to pay the dues for, maybe if you're in school and you are saying life membership fees. That means that for the period that you'll be in school, that's from SS1 to SS3. So you pay that life membership dues from 1 to 3 all together at once. And that's another form of income for these clubs and societies. We have the donations that you receive. So for your science club, you will be maybe the headmistress will donate something to the science club for your research purposes. Now, when the headmistress donate that, you receive it. When you receive that, that is a source of income. If it is in monetary form, that's a source of income. If maybe an organization outside wants to donate to that club, that organization, after donating it, it will be a donation that has been received by what? That club or society. Now we have other projects. Now for such clubs and societies, sometimes, for this science class, sometimes when it is maybe anniversary, they would like to do a little something, then they will sell. They will sell to the parents and the visitors that will come around. Now, such now,
Keep
okay,
quiet.
listen. Samuel, can you mute yourself?
Okay,
Someone,
sir.
yeah, can you mute yourself? Okay, so they are if they are going to sell that, it's not purposely that they set up that club or that society to sell. Welcome, Obed. It's not purposely that they sell that club or society. Okay, thank you. It's not purposely that they decide to sell that thing or that thing for profit making every day, but because of that anniversary that you are having in the school, you are going to do or sell to raise a little income to support the activities of the club. So there are some instances, even though you are not uh, purposely for making profit, when there's an occasion, you can do something to make profit out of that occasion and not every day. So that's another aspect of an income that the club or society will what be getting. Now, we can also have profit or money, sales of equipment. When you are going to sell your equipment, that one too will bring you income. So that's another form of income that that club or society will get. Now, Obed, we were talking about clubs and societies. You have talked about what clubs and societies are, and we have also talked about some sources of income for these clubs and societies. The video is being recorded, so after everything you can.
Okay,
Now
thanks.
we have some terms that are peculiar to these clubs and societies. You know, these clubs and societies, they are not for making profits, as I've been saying throughout this session. Now, because they are not for making profits, there are some terms that you use in the profit-making organizations that are not used in these organizations to differentiate these accounts. So, for example, we have a term like accumulated fund. When we talk about accumulated fund is like the capital of that club or society. So the amount of capital that the club or society will be having will be the accumulated fund. Therefore, the accumulated fund of these clubs and societies is equal to the assets minus the liabilities. Is that okay? Accumulated fund is equal to assets minus liabilities. Accumulated fund is equal to assets minus liabilities. So if you have assets in that club and you have liabilities, if you subtract your liabilities from your asset, that's where you get your what? Accumulated fund. And you can find this accumulated fund also by doing the statement of affairs. The statement of affairs, which we know in the profit-making organizations as balance sheet, is the same thing. Is that okay? But just that you'll be having different terms. When as I talk more about it, you get to know more of these terms. Okay. Now we have what we call the deficit. The deficit is like the loss in profit-making organization. So when you make a loss in the profit-making organization, when you come into the non-profit-making organization, it's called a deficit. We have the surplus. The surplus is the same as the profit that you make in profit-making organizations. Then we have subscriptions. As I've already explained, subscriptions are amount that you pay regularly or monthly to be a member of that club or society. So, for example, you are in your business club. That business club, you pay 3 cedi every month. I hope you get it. You pay 3 cedi every month. That's what your subscription. We have something we call the honorarium. The honorarium is an amount that is paid to someone for offering services to the club or society. I repeat, the honorarium is an amount that is paid to a particular person. That person may be a member of the club or not a member of the club for services that the person rendered to the club or society. So if, for example, you are all in your business club, now they need the services of an IT personnel. You are very good in IT, so you take up that services instead of they going to look for someone outside to come and do it for you. And they decide to give you something small to compensate you for that services you are giving to them. That money they give to you is what you call honorarium. Or you don't have an IT personnel and you want an IT personnel, you have a friend who is very good in IT. You introduce the friend to that organization. Now that friend, when he comes, you will not be charging them as per how much you'll be charging the profit-making organizations. Therefore, that amount that that friend will charge, either small or large, is called what? Honorarium. So that's what we mean by honorarium. Okay. So in clubs or society or in profit and loss, profit-making organizations, you have your cash book, you have your profit and loss accounts, you have your balance sheet, etc. Now, in not for making profit organizations, that one you'll be having your cash book as usual. If you are told to prepare it, if you are not told to prepare it, you forgo it and you prepare your receipt and payment account. Now, this is an account that records all cash and checks received or paid. All cash and checks received or paid in that year. All cash and checks received or paid in that particular year. So if the club received any amount in that year, you book it inside the receipt and payment account. If that club pays a certain amount in that year, you book it in the receipt and payment account. So it serves as a cash book of the club or society. That notwithstanding, clubs or societies also have their cash book. They also prepare cash book. But this receipt and payment is also prepared for a particular reason, which I'm going to give it to you as an assignment. I want you to find out why clubs and societies have the cash book, but they also prepare the receipt and payment. Okay, I've already said the answer in my explanation already, but still, it's an assignment for you. Is that okay? Why do clubs, write it down, why do clubs and societies prepare the receipt and payment account, even though they have their cash book? Is that okay? So, in the receipt and payment account, you have your receipt on the left-hand side and you have your payment on your right-hand side. Now, all receipts are debited, which is the same as the double entry principle or the golden rule in accounting. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So you debit all receipts and you credit all payments. The balance will be either balance carried down at the left-hand side or balance carried down at the right-hand side, which will determine what you take to your income statement. I hope you get it. So that's all about the receipt and payment. It's nothing difficult. You have all your receipts at one side, all your payments at another side, and you just balance it off. As simple as that. Now, the income and expenditure account. This is an account that is prepared like it's the same as the profit and loss account. Exactly. So, whereas receipt and payment records amount received or paid in that particular year, the income and expenditure account records amounts that are to be received or that are to be received in a particular period of time. So for example, if you go to the profit-making organizations, we have what we call the profit and loss account. And when you have this profit and loss account, you will see that the title will be profit and loss account for the year ended. For the year ended. Now, can anybody who knows the meaning why we use for the year ended can unmute himself and answer the question, or else our point? Why we use profit and loss account for the year ended? Why do we use that? And not profit and loss account assets? Why do we use profit and loss account for the year ended and not profit and loss account assets? Okay, so since nobody is answering, I'll start from Samuel. Samuel, you can unmute yourself and try answering the question. Hello, Samuel.
Sir.
So you try answering the question. Why do we use profit and loss account for the year ended and not profit and loss account assets?
So profit and loss. So assets is for balance sheet.
Okay.
When you have a prayer balance sheet, that's where we use the asset.
Okay.
But for trading and profit account, it's for the whole year. So the
Okay.
whole year, what you buy, what you sell, what you receive, what you pay, that's what you're accounting for. That's how you
Okay.
use the trading profit and loss account for the year ended. And the asset is for when you are preparing the balance sheet.
Okay. Thank you very much. Obed,
You see.
can you unmute yourself and give us the reason why we say balance sheet assets? Balance sheet assets and not balance sheet for the year ended. Hello, Obed. Hello. Okay, Wisdom, can you try?
Yeah, I'm forgetting it.
Oh, okay. No problem. Okay. So we use for the year ended. We use for the year ended. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, let's continue. So we use for the year ended because we are preparing the account for that particular year. We are preparing the account for that particular year. That's why we use for the year ended. So anything that does not concern that particular year is removed from that account. For example, when you have rents, you have rent paid. Let's take our base year to be 2018. And we have rent accrued in 2017 and rent prepaid in 2019. Is that okay? Our base year is 2018 and we are preparing the account in 2018. So when you go to your profit and loss account and in your additional information, you have been given rent prepaid in 2019. It's maybe 5 Ghana cedis. Exactly. What you do is that you remove that 5 Ghana cedis from your rent amount. That's why when you have rent prepaid, you subtract it before you take that amount to your trading profit and loss account. So we use for the year ended because we are preparing everything in that particular year. And when you have arrears, you know that when you have arrears, you do what? You add. Is that okay? When you have arrears, you add. That's why we have for the year ended. So whatever you are preparing is for that particular year and not any other year again. I hope you get it. Now, we use assets because we are preparing the balance sheet for the number of periods we have been in business. Is that okay? So we are looking at the statement of the financial position of the firm from maybe we started business in 2000 and we are now in 2020. If you are preparing an account for 2019, we are preparing this account since we started this business from 2000 to 2019. What is the financial position of this business? How far have we come? Are we growing or we are falling out of business? Exactly. So that's why we use assets. So from the period that we started business till now, how are we doing in business? It's the same thing in these non-profit organizations. So we prepare our income and expenditure accounts. We prepare our income and expenditure accounts for that period. Okay, we prepare it for that period. So this income and expenditure account is the same as the trading profit and loss account that you do. Just that for non-profit organizations, if they are not dealing in any trading activities, you don't do the trading. So you start right away from what? The profit and loss account. That's income and expenditure. And some incomes that you may find in this income and expenditure account are the subscriptions that the members will be paying, entrance fees that new members will be paying, the donations that you'll be receiving, then the profits from the project that you'll be getting. Then the expenditures in this account, maybe you have rented an apartment for your, what's it called, your club. So rent and rate you'll be paying. Maybe you'll be paying wages to some particular people, honorarium, donations, printing. Now, after doing it, in your normal profit and loss account, when you finish preparing it, you get what? Either a profit or a loss. You get either a profit or a loss. But in this income statement, you get either a surplus or a deficit. As I've already explained, surplus is when you get a profit. That's why you can see it at the left-hand side. And deficit is when you get a loss. That's why you can see it at the right-hand side. Exactly. So that's it for the income and expenditure. The difference that you get, you send it to the accumulated fund account or the statement of affairs to get your what? Your financial position at that time. Now, a very important account that you will need to prepare, a very important account that you will need to prepare in this type of question is the subscriptions account. Now, the subscriptions account is a kind of account that is prepared because members will be paying either in arrears or in prepayment. Now, you know that some people will be paying lifetime. Now, that lifetime does not affect this subscriptions account. Is that okay? That lifetime does not affect this subscriptions account. Now, whatever you receive as subscription and whatever you do not receive as subscription is recorded in this subscription account. So, for example, let's take an example and we can get this explanation clearer. Now, in Voltic Club and Society, subscriptions that are expected to be received in 2019 is 5,000 Ghana cedis. Subscriptions that are paid in 2019 is 6,000 Ghana cedis. Included in these subscriptions paid in 2019, 500 is paid in arrears for 2018, and 1,500 is paid in advance for 2020. So you need to find the subscriptions that were paid in 2019. Okay, so as I said, let me share.
Sir, please, can you repeat the question again?
I'm sharing the board, then you go on. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, so what I'm saying is that in Voltic Club, okay, we are expecting to receive subscriptions of 5,000 because maybe we pay subscriptions of 100 and we have let's say 500 members. Okay, so we pay subscription of 10 cedi. Is that okay? And the number of members are 500. So we are expecting to receive subscriptions of 5,000 in 2019. That's for the club. Now, at the end of the year 2019, the subscriptions that were received in the receipt and payment account is equal to 6,000 Ghana cedis. That means that we are having 1,000 Ghana cedis surplus of subscription. Is that okay? Now, included in this 2019 amounts, in 2019 amounts, a subscription of 500 that was paid for 2018. Now, some members couldn't pay for their 2018 subscription, so they have paid it in 2019. But that subscription is not for 2019, it's for 2018. So we have to indicate that 500 is for 2018. And 1,500 has been paid for 2020. Is that okay? So the members, some of them have money in abundance, so they have paid for 2020 instead of paying for only 2019. And that amount is equal to what? 1,500. Now, as you can see, we are having subscriptions of 500 for 2018, 1,500 for 2020. And we have to find the subscriptions that were actually paid for 2019 so that we can include that in our income statement. As I've already explained, in the income statement, any amount that goes in there is for that particular year only. Is that okay? So since we are having amount in 2018 and we are having amount in 2020, we have to remove those amounts in 2018 and those amounts in 2020 out from that amount, that total amount, so that we can get the amount for what? 2019 only, and represent that amount in our income statement. Exactly. So let me share. Okay. So as you can see, this is the subscription account. Exactly. And this subscription account acts like a capital account. It acts like a capital account. I hope you know that capital account, when it is increasing, when the capital account is increasing, it is at the credit side. And when it is reducing, it's at the debit side. I hope you know that. Okay. So this subscription account also acts like the capital account. Whenever subscriptions are received, you credit it. And when the difference will go to the income and expenditure account. Now, this is the reason why if subscriptions are received, we do what? We credit it. Now, the individual subscriptions account, that is maybe Da Costa has paid for subscription. Is that okay? So we debit Da Costa's account that Da Costa has paid for subscription of what? 20 Ghana cedis. Now, after debiting Da Costa's account that Da Costa has paid subscription of 20 Ghana cedis, what do we need to do? We have to go and credit the subscription account. We have to credit the subscription account. One second. Okay, so this is the T account. Okay, I would like you to look at the cursor very well. So as I said, this is the Costa's account, or this is the subscription account. Let me draw another one. Is that okay? This is the subscription account. Now, when Da Costa as an individual, as a member, pays subscription of 20 cedis, that 20 cedis, that 20 cedis will be recorded at the debit side of that account. Is that okay? Now, the corresponding credit account will be that the subscriptions account, and that will be what? At the credit side. So when another member also pays it, that member will also have what? A different account open for that member. And that member's account too will be debited with what? Maybe 30 cedis. The corresponding credit account will be in the subscription account, which will be what? 30 cedis. So as you can see, the subscription account will be increasing at the credit side, whereas the individual members account will be what? Debited. So when the coster again pays for subscription again, that subscription maybe we have to pay 50 cedis, and the coster only pay 20 cedis. So the 20 cedis has been debited already. Now, if the 20 cedis have been debited and the coster in that year comes back and pays that 30 cedis, so that it will be 50 cedis, that 30 cedis will again be what? Debited in the coster's account. And when it is debited in the coster's account, it will the corresponding credit entry will be in the subscriptions account. Therefore, the subscription account works like what? The capital account. As it increases at the credit side. Maybe the customer wants to withdraw, so he's withdrawing a subscription. He's saying, I don't want to do it again, so I'm withdrawing my subscription 50 cedis. We pay the customer is withdrawing out. It will be at the credit side. The corresponding what? Debit entry will be in the subscription account, so that we can deduct the customer's amount from the total subscriptions that we have here. I hope you get it. If you get it, please type yes if you get it. Any question at this moment? Hello? Hello? Okay, someone said he's not getting it. Who else? Samuel, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Oh, okay. So someone said I should go over again. Okay, so as I was saying, is that okay? Samuel, you are a member of a club. Is that okay? Yeah, okay, let's take, you are the accountant of the club. You are not the member, you are the accountant of the club. Okay. Now, as the accountant of the club, whenever members pay, you debit the members' account. So, Obed has paid. Obed is a member of the club. And Obed has paid. Okay, so this is Obed's account. Let's represent it with O. This is another member's account. Let's take Wisdom. This is Wisdom's account, okay? And this is the total subscriptions account. Is that okay? Now, when a member pays a subscription, let's take that the total amount of subscription that needs to be paid is 50 Ghana cedis. So when a member pays that 50 Ghana cedis, that member, Obed, you pay 50 Obed pays 50 Ghana cedis, so you record it here as 50 cedis in the subscription account, in Obed's account. Now, the corresponding credit entry will be in the subscription account, which is what? 50 cedis. I hope that's okay. Now, that's for Obed's account. Now, Wisdom also pays subscription. Instead of 50 cedis, he pays 30 cedis. Now, the corresponding credit entry of this transaction will be in the subscription account, which is what? 30 cedis. Now, you can see that the subscription account is increasing at the credit side. That's why I said the subscription account works like the capital account. When the capital account is increasing, that's where you do what? You will see it at the credit side increasing. And if it is reducing, it reduces at the debit side. So let's take it that Wisdom wants to pay the rest of the amount. That's 20 cedis. Exactly. And Obed, you debit Wisdom 20 Ghana cedis. And the corresponding credit entry will be here, 20 Ghana cedis. So whenever amount is received from the individual's account, it is recorded in the receipt and payment. And in that receipt and payment, it is being transferred to the credit side of the subscription account. So this is what I'm talking about. And this is what I've shown on the screen. 1 second. This is it. Is that okay? Look at below the balance brought down. We have what? Receipt and payment, which is cash. So whenever subscription is received, it is what? It is credited. I hope you are okay now. Samuel. I hope you are okay now. Hello, Samuel. Okay, thank you. Now, so that's why we have what? The receipt and payment account. So let's go back to our question. Let's go back to our question. Now, Vortic Club is expected to receive 5,000 Ghana cedis, but receives 6,000 Ghana cedis in that year. Now, in that same year, Vortic Club included there is 500 for subscription in 2018, then 1,500 for subscription in 2020. So we have to remove this amount from what? The amount of 6,000 Ghana cedis to get the amount that we have to receive in what? 2019. Okay, so the expected amount or the amounts received is 6,000 Ghana cedis. Is that okay? Now, amount in 2018 has been included. Amount in 2018 has been included. Therefore, this is arrears in 2018. So arrears in 2018 is here at the debit side of the account. So as you can see, we have balance brought down. That's arrears with the amount there. So this balance brought down in arrears is for arrears of the previous year. That's 2018. And it will be subtracted from the receipt and payment, the amount that we have received already. That's what? The 6,000 Ghana cedis. So that's why we are subtracting the 2018 amount. Is that okay? From the amount that was received in 2019. So 6,000. So we have 6,000 minus what? 500. And that will be given as 5,500. So this will be the amount that you will be expecting to receive. But mind you that we have an amount that has been paid in advance for 2020, and that amount too is not for 2019. So we have to remove that amount from 2019 amount. I hope that's clear. So when you go there, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Now, we have balance carried down in advance. This is it. There's a balance carried down in advance. And as you can see, it is at the other end of what? The account. That means that it will be subtracted from what is being received. The 6,000 is from the question. Wisdom. The question that Now, this is the question. The question says that Vortic is expected to receive 5,000 in 2019. Is that okay? But they received 6,000 instead of 5,000. So that's where the 6,000 is coming from. I hope you get it. Wisdom, can I get a yes if you get it? Hello, Wisdom. Good. Okay. So since we have received 6,000 and not 5,000, and included in this 6,000 amount, it's not just for 2019 amount. We have 2018 amount and we have 2020 amount. Now we have to remove this amount from this 2019 amount so that we get the amount that we will be needing. That's a 5,000. So we have been able to remove the amount in arrears. That's in 2018. Is that okay? Now we have to remove the amount that is in prepayment. That's for 2022. So 5,500 minus the 1,500, because this 1,500 is for 2020 and not for 2019. Therefore, we have to do what? Remove it from the account of what? 2019. So 5,500 minus 1,500. And that will give us what? 4,000. So instead of receiving 5,000 of subscriptions for 2019, we have received 4,000 of subscriptions for 2019. That means that in 2019, therefore in 2019, instead of receiving 5,000, we have received what? 4,000. Instead of receiving 5,000, we have received 4,000. So it is left with an amount of what? 1,000 Ghana cedi to be received so that we can get our target of what? 5,000 Ghana cedis. So this 1,000 Ghana cedis will be an amount that will be in arrears for 2019. So when you go to 2020 and you are preparing an account for 2020 and someone pays an amount that is for 2019, it will be treated as how we treated the 2018 amount, which is this. Is that okay? So this is how the subscription accounts work. I'll be connecting with my phone so that I will work it out for you on my paper here so that you see how it is being worked in an account form. Is that okay? Please, can you, I'll be connecting with my phone, so I would like you to add me. Give me some few seconds. Okay, can you see? One second. Okay, can you see my screen? Hello. Okay, can you hear me too? Please, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, good, good, good. That's good. Okay. How we can see the camera too? We had subscription of what? In 2019, subscription of 6,000. Okay. 2019, subscription of 6,000. Now, in 2018, the subscription became what? 500. As I said, the subscription account acts like the capital account. So whatever you receive will be at the credit side of the account. So the amount that we received in payment, that's what? 6,000 Ghana cedis. How that's clear? That's 6,000 Ghana cedis. Now, after that, you have arrears of what? 500 Ghana cedis from 2018. That will be arrears from 2018. Exactly. So arrears from 2018 is what? 500. Then we are paying some to 2020. That's prepayment. And prepayment is to the following year. So that one we are subtracting it from what? Our receipt and payment account. So we have our prepayment of 1,500. Exactly. So this is how the subscription accounts look like. Then, after subtracting everything, we having an amount of 4,000, and this amount of 4,000 will be taken to the income and expenditure account, so that your subscription account will be balanced. That is the subscription account. So when you get the slide, you see something like this, a subscription account. You see something like this, a subscription account. Between the balance brought forward or brought down, that's in arrears here. Because the amount was taken from 2018 it has been brought to 2019. And that's the capital account. If you are subtracting it from it into the side of the account, you having your receipts and payments here. Then you have balance for the payment. So if somebody in 2018 paid an amount paid in 2018, this means what I'm saying is that these people will be recorded so that you can go again. Okay. Is that okay? Okay, so let's continue. So as I was saying, in 2018, someone paid in advance. Therefore, that money will be for 2019. So we have to add it to the 2019 amount. Exactly. So the balance brought it down prepaid from 2018 to 2019 will be added to the receipt and payment for that year. Then the arrears that you'll be having, you'll be having in 2019 will be added back to the amount. Exactly. So, for example, we were supposed to receive 5,000. That's 5,000 should have gone into the income statement. 5,000 should have gone into the income statement. And now you have to see it is 4,000. That means that there's a balance of 1,000. So that balance of is an arrear that must be paid in 2019 but haven't been paid. So that would be 1,000. And if you put this 1,000 here, the total will be what? 7,000. The total will be 7,000, which means that the amount that will go into the income statement will be what? 5,000. Therefore, getting our amount that we should have gotten, that's 5,000. That we're expecting. Exactly. So if we were expecting to get 5,000 Ghana cedis, but we got 4,000 Ghana cedis, the income statement or in the income and expenditure account, it records all amounts that have been received or should have been received in 2019. Therefore, even though we are not receiving this amount that we raised in 2019, we still have to record it. That's why we have recorded it and added it to what we should have got for the receipt to get our 5,000 for what? The income and expenditure for that particular year. So back to the formula, we have arrears, that is what? 5,000, it's 1,000 Ghana cedis to be here. And that will give us the total for what? That particular year. To give us the total for that particular year. But notwithstanding, you will also get prepayment. That's the 1,000 that we have here. That's prepayment to the what? To the next year. So since it is a prepayment, balance carried down in prepayment. That will also be here. Now the difference from these balances would give us the income and expenditure account. So it is not always that a question, or it's not always that a question will tell you that the club was expecting to receive 5,000, so that you get that 5,000 down. Then when you solve and you don't get 5,000 for income and expenditure, you will be adjusting your figures. No, the questions normally don't say it. They don't put it out. So you have to prepare a subscription in this one. Then you get the subscription for that particular year. For that particular year. If you get for that particular year, you less or depending on the year, particular year that you get it from. So this is the subscription account, and this is how you solve for the subscription account. Now, let me join with my machine, then we can talk about on the paper. But as I was saying, you have your balance brought down in arrears from the previous years. That will be subtracted from the money received. Then you have your balance carried down. That is amount prepaid to the following year. That will be also subtracted for the receipt and payment because they are not for that particular year. Then the amount that will be for that particular year, that's when someone pays in advance into that year. So that amount will be for that particular year. So you come and add it to the receipt and payment amount. Then when someone also do not pay for that year, that amount is also for that particular year. So you do what? You come and add it to that particular amount. To get your total amount, that will be represented in the income and expenditure account. Now, in this account, you could see that the income and expenditure is at the debit side of the subscriptions account. This is because when you go to the income and expenditure account, which is just here, you could see that the subscription is at the credit side of the income and expenditure account. Therefore, the corresponding credit entry for this debit entry here is inside the income and expenditure account, which is subscriptions. So getting your subscriptions is very important when you are doing, when you are solving a question on clubs and societies. Okay. So I'll give you a question. You go over, the question will entail all these things. You go over and you find the subscription arrears, the subscription and advance, whether it will be added to the receipt of payment or it will be subtracted from the receipt of payment. You do it, then you get your amount. Now, these balances below here is just the balance carried downs of these ones, as you already know. So these balance carried downs, you represent them down here. Okay. Now, the last thing that we will talk about is capital and revenue donations. Now, you know that donations is part of donations received. It is part of what? The income and expenditure account, as well as part of what? The receipt and payment account. Now, these donations, they come in two forms. They come in either capital donations or revenue donations. Now, capital donations are donations that can last in the organization or in the club or society for more than one accounting year. So it's the same thing as the fixed asset and the current asset, just that this one, it is in the form of donation. So capital donation, in a particular year, the science club, you receive equipment from maybe US or any other organization. They give you the equipment for free. They say that they are donating this amount of equipment, this number of equipment to this club, and to support you with all their big English. After that, it will be published and the rest. Now, that kind of donation will be in the science club for a long time. It will not be there for just one accounting year. So that's what we call a capital donation. And a capital donation is an asset. It becomes an asset. Now, the revenue donation is a donation that is done for maybe an operational program that is going on, or it is an expense. For example, you are owing electricity. Then an organization says that, oh, to help you, or we are donating to you, and in the form of paying your electricity bill. Now, that is an expense. Okay, that's electricity bill is an expense. So that's a form of revenue donation. Or you are having a small program, and someone is donating an amount of money, or maybe some equipment that will help you in that program. And after that program, you'll not be using that equipment again. If you be using that equipment again for the same club and society, or it will be staying there, it will be a capital donation. But there are some kind of equipment that when you use for a certain program, you can't use them again. These are the type of equipment I'm talking about. So you have to be able to differentiate between a capital donation and a revenue donation. So that's for the clubs and society. Capital donations will be in the accumulated fund. Then revenue donations will be in the income and expenditure account. So if you don't differentiate them, you go and find the capital donation, which is supposed to be in the accumulated fund account. Then you come and put it in the income statement to get your work wrong. Then you will be sitting down and you'll be thinking of balancing. Now, one trick in accounting is that don't try to balance your account. If you try to balance your account, you will be in trouble. So don't try to balance your account. Just make sure that you are inputting the correct amount in the respective account and at the respective places at the particular point in time. So you know that subscriptions should be at the credit side of your account. But because your account is not balancing, you have done it, you have seen that if you put subscription at the debit side, your account will balance. Then you move subscription from the credit side and put it at the debit side, then you balance your equation. Now, mind you, some teachers will not set accounting question for it to balance. No. Some teachers will intentionally set the question, hey, whatever you do, you will not be able to balance it. So you just have to do what? Because they know that the question has an error. So you just have to input the correct amount at the correct places. That's all in accounting, and you'll be getting your marks. I hope that's clear. So that's for that is for accounting for what? Clubs and societies. That's for accounting for clubs and societies. You talk about accumulated funds, subscription. You understand that from that point of view, and that's it. You are good to go. I hope that's clear. Wisdom, last man standing. I hope that's clear. Okay, so there's an assignment. I'll give it to respondent, then you will share it to you, then you try